So we just jumped in the truck. We're going to head across town. This is another local story we're going to tell, but we're going to go talk with Jamie Williams of J&L Contracting and Williams Construction Company. And if you are from this area, you probably know them. I met Jamie several months ago through a mutual friend. Reached out to him later and said, hey, can I come up and film your story? But they run a heck of an operation. They have a construction company and they also have a trucking company bolted on, or actually kind of two different trucking companies. But talking with Jamie, one of their big projects they do, and he'll talk about today, is several years back, they started doing a lot of the Casey convenience stores, which we know they've blown up all over the Midwest, but they've actually done a lot of those jobs. So from ground up that they put them in, they've done projects here at some of the colleges, Evangel University. They did the big sports complex over there. But just a great story. Jamie, he's a second generation owner. They have, hundreds of employees. But I want to show you, again, he gave me this tour and we're going to go get it again, but just of their office. But they also have a shop where they build these show trucks. He's going to talk about his trucking company. They actually do a lot of heavy haul. So you all know when you get in the heavy haul business, a lot of those trucks are really sharp looking. A lot of them are decked out because just kind of goes hand in hand to that business, the heavy haul. They also do jobs where they actually build these trucks for other companies as well, locally and across the company, some of these show trucks. They have a big shop. And then today he's going to even show us they're putting in this brand new paint shop. So instead of having to hire that out, they'll now be able to do world-class paint schemes in their shop. So yeah, just a really cool company. I think Jamie told me that they have over 400 pieces of equipment when you total up the semis, bulldozers, skid steers, excavators, track hoes, all that. So just a large company, and but just also very godly person himself, Jamie. So excited to do this interview and have Jamie share a little bit of the story of the Williams Construction Company and J&L Contracting. So first off, Jamie, thank you for allowing us to be here and giving us some of your time to share a story about your company and your family. Today, though, how many companies are here under this umbrella?
There's two official companies, Williams Construction and J&L Contracting. But under Williams Construction, there is WCC Excavation and Demolition, and then we also have our dump trucks under that same umbrella. So there's three under that piece, which is the general contracting firm, the excavation piece, the dump truck piece. And then under J&L Contracting, there's J&L Heavy Haul, which hauls stuff all 48 states. And then under that piece, I also have my dedicated services, which is about 35 trucks every day that are just dedicated to one individual, one company.
How many employees?
We're really very close to 200. We bounce around 200 is where we're at. About a year ago, we were 180, and now we're about 200.
You built the trucking company just upon people requesting.
The trucking company was strictly accidental. We had Williams Construction. It's a family business. My father started it in about 79, 80. About 2002, we built Casey's General Stores all across the Midwest. And I had bought a dump truck off eBay, and we had an old backhoe. And we were doing more and more with that because I noticed we had a gentleman we hired pretty much solely every day that did backhoe and dump truck service and light excavation just to do the small stuff for us. First year I really looked into it, hey, I paid him like $100,000 that year. And I thought, why aren't we doing that ourselves?
Yeah.
And I went to my father and I said, hey, we need to go buy some more dump trucks and some more excavation equipment. And he said, nope. I'm done. I'm on the downhill slope, not the uphill slope. And if you want to do it, I'll give you the dump truck and the backhoe for collateral. Go start your own business. So I went to the local bank that I had a relationship with, and I said, hey, I want to get a business loan to start up a new entity, which was J&L. This was probably 04-ish. And he said, okay, I had a guaranteed workload because I was in control of hiring all those people and doing all that stuff. And he said, I liked your plan. And the main driving force with that was when J&L first started, it was excavation, strictly excavation. But we went to all these small towns in Missouri and Oklahoma and had to go hire the local excavation company. Mm-hmm. And the local excavation company would always want the work, but they didn't want the responsibility of the deadline. And Casey's gave me a very strict deadline. You had, 3 months to build a store, 4 months to build a store. Well, I was one-time Joe to this local guy. And when his local buddy called that built 10 houses a year, he would disappear from our site to go dig a basement out, and that killed our schedule.
Yeah.
And at the time,
so you almost did it to, control the process.
I did, yes,
to control
100%. And that's why I've grown this business the way we have. Everything we've done was to control the process. There's just something failed us because of schedule. And I got into trucking accidentally because I had a 89 Kenworth, which I still have today, that I pulled in Fabit Cat to pick a piece up. And I'm the guy that likes things to look nice. And I pulled in there and like, whoa, this is a beautiful truck. Well, it was an 89 in 2005, but I kept my stuff nice. And they're like, can you haul for hire? And I said, yes, I can haul for hire because J&L is not Williams Construction, 2 different owners at the time. So I had to get my trucking authority, which 90% of the excavation companies in the world do not have their authority. They just haul their own stuff. They don't care to haul anybody else's stuff.
Yeah.
And I was like, that low boy costs X number of dollars. This bulldozer costs X number of dollars. Why do I only focus on that bulldozer making money? Why wouldn't I focus on the truck making me money?
Yeah.
And at that time, every time I had to tell a customer no, I'd buy another truck. And it grew to 10. And I think today we're right around 100 units on J&L with just the low boy and heavy hauling. And that's just from necessity.
Because you all have an office up in St. Louis.
We have an office in Valley Park, Missouri. Yep.
Yep.
And that's because I bought a company out called Select 8 years ago. And they did heavy haul for several years. Bought them out, and their assets and their employees came to work for me. And it's been a good adventure up there. And then here, it's just we haul. You never know where we're going to be or what we're hauling. So we don't just haul. We haul mainly construction equipment, but we also haul a lot of modular stuff. So a 7 brew coffee house.
Well, we just saw on the way in, there was it wasn't a 7 brew, but another modular. It was some building that was being hauled out on a J&L truck.
That was actually 7 brew.
Oh, was that 7 brew? Okay.
That's part of the 7 brews. 7 brews take about 4 loads, depending on the size. Some of them are 3. But yeah, that was a 7 brews unit.
Yeah.
And then we also haul a lot of power generation equipment, natural gas power plants. They're built modularly. And they go get hauled in, and about 25 of them hooked together and make a power plant. We haul those all across the country.
What is it? It seems like, especially heavy haul, most of your heavy haul guys, it kind of lends to show quality trucks. Or would you agree with that? It seems like a lot of the heavy haul guys.
Probably, well, a lot of the owner operators are that way. Yes, they have, I'd say a lot of pride and time. Then there's a lot of fleet guys in there now. So. And
with the heavy haul there?
With the heavy hauls. There's some more, and there's some, what do we call bottom feeders in the world that are in there now. But most of the guys that like me that have a heavy haul company, yeah, most of their stuff's pretty nice and dolled up.
I guess my question, I didn't know if it had something to do with, your over the road, your big fleets, your mega companies are hauling dry van. I mean, real kind of same cookie cutter.
Well, weight's a very big thing in the bulk freight.
Right.
In your guys' world, bulk. The most you can haul, the better off you are. We're not worried about fuel mileage. I mean, we are, but we're not. I mean, that truck's getting 3 to 4 miles a gallon.
Right.
There's not a whole lot of tweaking I'm going to do to make it better. When you're grossing 260,000, you're not worried about fuel mileage.
Yeah.
You're worried about getting over the hill.
Yeah.
So, and those guys, they can only operate during daylight most of the time in a lot of states. So they have time to keep their truck clean and have pride in their rig. And I'm also trying to get that specialized driver. The guy that I trust to pull $260,000.
Well,
I'm not looking for the guy that bumps the dock. It's a different class of driver. So we have to have different class of trucks to obtain those different classes.
But you have to have a safe driver for any kind of semi-truck driving. But this seems like this has got to be the top of the line.
I've always been prideful to say I wouldn't ask anybody to do anything I wouldn't do myself. But I can honestly say I've never pulled a super load. I've never had a need to. I have drivers that do it and are trained and professional and do it every day. And I've hauled plenty of heavy haul loads. I'll pull 8-axle stuff, not bother me. I just never had the need to pull the great multi-axle loads. We do a lot of design build. And when we call design build, that means we hire the architect and we help the customer get exactly what he wants.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So, like Evangel, they came to us and they had an initial team hired, and the initial team said, hey, here's a drawing that we would recommend you. And it was $40 million. Evangel couldn't afford $40 million. So their construction representative had worked with us in the past. He came to us and said, hey, we need to get this thing into about $18 million. here's our wish list of what we have to have in this facility, figure out how to get it to 18 million. And us, and they hired an architecture firm in town. We actually we hired them, and we all worked together as one team and designed a beautiful facility and kept it in budget and schedule and all the above.
That's awesome.
We have our own safety director, and that's Doug's job. Doug's also quality control, so he goes and checks and makes sure everything's getting done to, the Williams spec. Make sure it's getting done the way I'd want it done. Or my father would have wanted it done back in the day. This was Never Satisfied.
Oh, yeah.
That was in 10-4 magazine. So that truck won about everything it could win. It's actually, as far as show trucks goes, I would say I can't say it's won the most because I have no idea what the most is, but it still shows and wins today. And most show trucks have a shelf life, we call it. That one, he's able to take it to a show next week and still win it. I call it my budget build because when we started, it had about 500,000 miles on it, and it was not meant to be a show truck. It was never the goal when we started it. It was white originally. It was my very first sleeper truck I ever bought. The driver quit, and the paint was starting to flake off of it. That's not how I roll. I make things look nice. We brought it in, repainted it red, brought it back to the shop, and it just doesn't look right. So we took it to a different, because at that time we didn't build our own trucks. We were very involved in it. It was my design. It was everything that got done to that truck was basically my idea. Now the interior, the Davis brothers in Indiana were involved in that, and they had creative freedom in it. So that was the interior of that baby was their ideas. I won't take credit for that, but the outside was everything about it I was involved in, hands-on. But we built that as a budget build. There's nothing here we can't do ourselves.
Which we're going to go see here.
Yep.
Yeah, all of that. Wow. You've explained a lot of different buildings and stuff like that. Is there a certain niche, though, that you all, like your sweet spot that you all do more, or is it?
No, because we're a pre-engineered metal building. We do a lot of pre-engineered metal buildings, but we also do structural now. We do a lot of wood. 15 years ago, yes, we pretty much did everything out of pre-engineered metal buildings. Everything.
So when you say, for somebody that doesn't know that, what's that mean, pre-engineer?
That's a building that people are going to be familiar with the name Butler, Nucor. So it's a Butler building. It's basically what everybody's shop's built out of.
But it's all prefab.
It's all prefab. It comes in on a truck and it bolts together.
Yep.
It's a big erector's kit. And the other option would be structural steel that comes out and they got to weld it and put it in place that way. Or then there's built out of wood.
Yep.
High rise is built out of structural steel. But we've been with American since about 80. And I think we've sold 45 million with them in the years. That's what we sold of their product. And then we also sell Seco metal buildings. We've sold about 12 or 15 million with them. We sell them to a lot of other general contractors, not just our own. And we do erection. We're building a hangar right now that's going to be for prime trucking. We're doing that with Killian Construction, for instance, but we sold them the structure and did the metal building. So we do a lot of that for other people. Our excavation company works for 10 different general contractors, Springfield, not just Williams. I do a lot of stuff in trucking. So I'm doing stuff for other trucking companies, yes. We get into a lot of trucking companies and other trucking, and because I know a lot about trucking and I know a lot about construction. Most truckers are just truckers. Most contractors are just contractors. So I have that comfort level with both people. So I do a lot of, that's a niche market for us, and we do a lot of that for them.
Yeah.
Many of y'all may not know, but we started a permitting business and insurance business. We know that many of you are in different stages of your life, and we want to simplify and take those friction points away from you. So if you have interest in permitting, allowing a company to take care of your IFTA reporting, all your tax documents, all the back end work that, quite frankly, I don't like doing and I subcontract out to other people's to do, we want to do for you. So if you get a chance, click the permitting link below and you'll be directed to that. And then on top of that, we also offer commercial truck insurance. We represent really good truck insurance markets to give you the most affordable and best price on insurance. So we know insurance rates are climbing. We know every year at renewal times, people are sticker shocked to see the renewals. We want to walk you through that process, give you a better experience, and hopefully better affordable coverage. So go ahead and click the link below for Bulk Insurance Group. Let us quote your insurance for you. Thank you and God bless.
This was a Best of Show trophy we won at a truck show along the way. That was at 75 Chrome Shop in Florida in 17. This one was in 16. We won that 2 years in a row. Best of Show there, back when we really competed hot and heavy. These are another trophies we've won along the way. We really did hot and heavy in 15, 17, 18, 19.
Yeah.
We haven't really competed much in the last 5 years.
Is there a reason for that, or just?
No, just it takes a lot to do a show. I mean, a lot of money. We build for other people now, and it's hard to build for people and compete against them. So
Yeah.
we've been out of the game for probably really heavy hot competition for 5 years. The show circuit really kind of had a lot of turnover. Like when the Great American Truck Show quit, that was an organization that kind of took a bad turn and folded up. COVID happened, it folded up. There are some other show circuits that kind of had slowed down. This is the big one at Louisville. We've won it twice. 2 years, we've won Best of Show there twice.
Oh, that wasn't even too long ago.
Yep, that was
Couple years ago.
2023. Yep. So we've won it twice. Most people don't even win it once. So that's 75 Chrome Shop. That's a People Choice Award there. We won it. The American Truck Show Circuit, we won Best of Show, won a national championship with them. So we've won, I think, 3 different national championships.
Wow.
Which they compete all across the U.S. 19, we won. They said top 3 Kenworths that were there. We actually, my actual name tag says number 1, so I classified as the number 1 Kenworth that was there that year. That was Never Satisfied. That was the only year that I know they ever did that, where Kenworth actually picked the top 3 trucks in the lot. So,
Tell me this though. What was the reason to do it? I mean, because that's a lot of work, a lot of money. Like, is there an ROI in this?
yes, and what it is friendships. There's not a state in the U.S. I can't have a truck break down and I can't call a friend and say, hey, I got a problem. Where do I go? Who do I call? And in a lot of cases, they'll say, bring it to my shop. We'll fix you and get you back on the road. Or, hey, take it to this shop. I'll call them and tell them you're coming. Because, a lot of shops, you might go to a shop and be out a week before they even look at your truck. What record do I call? You call a company, because there's a lot of crooked record companies out there. But we built relationships all over this country. If I'm in Texas,
so the
I know who to
investment
call.
in this is the connections that you've built
Yep.
that have helped you.
Just like when I went to Wisconsin, before I even agreed to go to Wisconsin. When the customer first come to me and said, hey, I want you to go to Wisconsin. My first call was some lifelong friends I have in Wisconsin that had a trucking company. I said, hey, I need to come up and talk to you. And me and my wife took the RV and we went and saw them. And I said, hey, I got a proposition for you. I want to hire you guys. And they had their own trucking company of, I think, 6 trucks. And they dispatched them. And that 6 trucks don't keep a person 100% busy. It can or it cannot. It depends if you drive or not. And they both work for me today. And they still have their trucks.
Oh, wow.
And I would have never known them, I trust them with my life. I mean, I'd say, hey, if I need to send my kids somewhere, my kids could live with them for a month and I'd never worry about them 1 minute. And that's the relationships I have. I have a friend in Ohio the same way. I have friends in Texas. I got friends in Kansas City. I got friends in several in Texas that are that way that I could trust with anything.
So really, a lot of your friend groups you made through truck shows.
My national ones, yeah. Or they'll call me, hey, I got a customer that has a load in mid-Missouri. I don't want to drive up from Texas to go move it.
So even business.
Oh, yeah. We share a lot of business. And I have my own brokerage on the side so I can legally handle loads. And I'll call people all the time and say, hey, you want to bid this load? And they'll say, sure. And they go do it. And I get a cut out of it. And it's how we do business. But I trust the carriers. So I don't broker to anybody. I only broker to people I know.
Yeah.
And it's just, I would never send a customer to somebody that, doesn't speak English. I'll put it that way.
Oh, yeah. Got it.
We got about 2 inches of rain yesterday. So a lot of my dump trucks are not working today because it's too muddy.
Otherwise, these would be
These
gone.
would not be here. And generally, they're not here during the day. But this is one of my typical dump trucks. They're all red. They all look very similar. And they're all pretty late model. Our oldest dump truck's a 95, but it looks very new and nice. That's a new 589 Peterbilt.
Oh, yeah.
We were probably one of the first people in the U.S. to make a dump truck out of one. So that's
why is everything red? Like, obviously that's your company. Like, what's the reasoning behind?
Because my favorite color as a kid was red. I had red carpet in my bedroom.
So your dad wasn't.
And no, my dad's favorite color was always blue. But when he was a kid, he's like, hey, I'm going to go get a new pickup. And I said, get a red one. And he did. And then it just kind of stuck.
Okay.
So I have not all my stuff's red, but most of my stuff is red. My wife despises red and won't drive a red vehicle, so she has a gray one. But a lot of my stuff is red.
I think from a branding standpoint, it's brilliant. I mean, people know who you are. Yeah.
Most of my trucks have the same kind of logo. This guy is one of my senior drivers, and he asked me, I don't know, probably 5 years ago, if his last truck, if he could put the Kansas City Chiefs on it somewhere. So I kind of surprised him and did all that to it. So his logo is a little different. He has the Chiefs emblems
Oh yeah,
in
that's
his
cool.
in his
You
logo.
get
And
that
I'm a
close
Chiefs
up.
fan. I've had season tickets for 16 years. So that's something we do. And he's a big Chiefs fan. So his is that way. And then the one that has the flag on the end was during COVID. I got that truck during COVID. So it was kind of a first responders truck is what we kind of, dedicated services.
Think about construction and even trucking, what you guys doing. Like, there's so many factors. You're talking about weather today, these guys on the road, but like, how do you manage that? Because now you got how many trucks that should be running today, losing revenue.
It's just the game. It's just part of it.
just
You deal with it,
factor
Hopefully it
Because
dries
are these
up
guys
and-
off work today, or you got to move
Yeah,
them somewhere
most
else?
of them are off work today, and hopefully it's dry enough so they can work Saturday. Nobody likes to work a Saturday, but it's just the world we live in. They feast or famine. They get, a normal day, they're getting a 12-hour shift in on the normal day. Today, if they'd be working, 12 hours, pretty easy.
How many dump trucks are in the fleet?
We have, I think today we got 28 with our end ups.
But the dump trucks, they're hauling.
They're
They're hauling stuff for the construction company, but even for other.
We haul, actually every day, they generally haul for other people.
They're not even doing.
We do haul our own rock and our own fill dirt for our excavation company, but I would say annually they probably work 80% for other people.
Oh wow!
So like this truck here normally is hauling material for roast ready mix every day. This end dump, but obviously it's a rain day for them. They're not selling a lot of concrete, so we're not hauling concrete rock. But
Man,
he hauls concrete rock and concrete sand. We had 2 of those at the beginning of the year. Now we got 4, and then we have 2 steel ones that haul demolition. So we're up to 6 end dumps, and we had, we've grown that business.
These trucks got to be. I mean, for driver recruitment, has to help. I mean, these.
It does, and we actually have benefits. And most dump truck companies don't offer benefits. A lot of companies don't offer overtime because you don't have to pay a truck driver overtime. But we pay overtime after 40, and we take care of it. Like this guy wants this on his truck, we usually generally get it. This guy wants a visor, he generally gets it. But the dump trucks, I'm a little bit more picky on because they get off-road a lot more, so you can't. But I try to put, those are brand new Peterbilts with a nice visor and Texas bumpers. You just don't see that.
Yeah.
But I try to give them what I'd want for myself.
Heavy duty, oversized stuff. A lot of those trucks are trucks you guys built, or is it a combo of?
They all come in as a basic standard truck, and then we've stretched them. We've added drop axles. We put the headache racks on them. We put all hydraulics on them. We put all the steel in the back where the load can accept it, which I'll show you that.
So most of the ones you're buying, you guys are dressing them up. You're not buying them as is.
Nope.
I mean, buying them.
No. Like that truck there was a basic white truck, and we put all the fenders on it. We put the hose loop, the hydraulic hoses on it. We put the headache cabinet on it. The whole back of it's solid steel where it can handle the weight.
Okay.
Because our trailer's detached, they come apart.
Yep.
So you drive up on the front. Well, that has to have what they call a gooseneck to go.
Yep.
So that weight has to be supported in the back of the truck. So we have to put in, 3/4 inch plate steel to support that weight. So we build all that and fabricate it in-house. Like the headache rack, we're a dealer for Bruners, so we don't build the headache rack, but we get it, bring it in, and then we mount it on the truck and do all that ourselves.
So this one being a day cab, is this going to be like a local?
This is local. I mean, they will run that truck out of anywhere in the U.S., but I got to pay for hotels, so we don't try to. This is a local truck, but that loop for the hydraulic hose is a design we come up with well over 10 years ago, and nobody else. There are a lot of people run them now because they've seen what we do and make them their own. But all my guys.
This is something you guys came up with, though?
Oh yeah, yeah. We came up with that. Actually, designed. Brunner built the first one for us, and now Brunner sells them every day for people, and we sell them and make them and sell them to other people. But yeah,
That's
that
awesome.
was just an idea we came up with. All this steel here is all built in our shop, and that's where that gooseneck has to set. So these pintle hitches we make up ourselves and weld all together, mount all that, do all the wiring. That little truck's the same way. I mean, I bought that truck used for I think probably $25,000. It was probably an old pop truck or something, and we have a little single axle we hooked to it, and we pull goosenecks with it, and all kinds of stuff.
Okay.
So
So this one will be used for
it has its own little trailer, a slide axle trailer, a mini one, but
just little local hauls, moving equipment around.
little rental stuff, stuff you would do with a pickup truck.
Yeah.
But pickup trucks we all know last about 100,000 miles, and that thing can go 500, and it's heavier duty, so it just handles weight better.
No, that makes perfect sense.
So we have our own excavation site, so that's one of our road graders.
You're talking about one time, I mean, total pieces of equipment that you all have now?
We're really close to 600 assets. with our trailers, our trucks, our pickups, and all that.
Oh my gosh.
And the goal is for it not to be on this yard, because if it's in this yard, it's not making revenue.
Yeah, that's
So
good.
this is a scrap yard for our metal building company. So these are extra parts. We have our own bump dock here, so we can transfer stuff if we need to. We don't haul much bulk freight, but we can.
When you talk about finding a driver, again, for heavy haul stuff, I mean, you got to find the right guy, but like, how do you train somebody that's never done that wants to be into heavy haul? Because again, it's...
Usually we hire either a guy who's done it before, or we hire a flatbedder. But, we just hired a guy about a month ago that was a bull hauler. That's all he's ever done. He's an owner-operator, and he's got tired of fighting the fight every day of his own company. He said, I want to just come somewhere and be here till he retires. And, an owner-operator is a great employee because they know how to take care of a truck. They
Yep.
know what it costs to work on a truck, so they treat your truck generally like their own. And you keep them happy and get on there. That's one of my newer trucks. That's a 589 Peterbilt. That driver, he came from me from California. He moved in here from California, and he'd heavy hauled out there, and that's his baby. He takes care of that truck. It always looks like that unless it's just rain and muddy. He takes very exceptional good care of his truck.
Who you're saying, sorry, the bull hauler guy.
But the bull hauler guy, we brought him in, and we put him in a truck with another driver, and minimum, a driver's with another driver is minimum is 5 days training. But then, and at that time, if we didn't realize they're not ready, we'll go for another. We had to train a guy the other day for 3 weeks. Into that 3 weeks, my trainer said, he's not ready. So we got rid of him. We turned him loose. They got to fit the mold, That's a brand new end-up we just bought. Hadn't even been on the road yet. And that's a brand new, it's a used Peterbilt we buy. I generally don't buy used, but we needed it fast.
That's brand new.
So it's got about, I want to say that truck has about 350,000 miles on it. In Northwest Arkansas, there's a company called Lou Thompson,
Oh yeah.
which has a bunch of, that's one of
I
his
know
old trucks.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, they're all red. Yeah.
that's one of his old trucks. And that's what it is.
This is...
That's the bull hauler guy, actually. That is
Oh,
him
is it?
actually pulling in. He got that truck. That's one of my kind of show trucks. It's called Northern Hospitality. And it's that way because if you've ever known people from the Northeast, they're very friendly, but they have so we call that Northern Hospitality because the driver who drove that truck was from Massachusetts when I built it new. He's a great friend of mine. He's Pop Ready. And he moved to Texas. That truck has probably close to 600,000 miles on it. But we take care of our fleet. I mean, that's factory paint. So we just take care of our equipment.
Would you ever retire a truck like that?
Well, that one's got a cat in it, so probably never, or I'm not going to say never, but not anytime soon.
Yeah.
We had to put a new motor in it not too long ago, so, that's the bread and butter of my fleet.
Man, sharp.
The white truck in the corner is a 1989. That's the first truck in the fleet.
This one over here?
Yep. That was my that was my first tractor.
Was that the one you were just talking about? You went up there and they complimented you on how well it looked?
Yep.
Okay.
At that time, it was actually red. It's been repainted and redone since then, but that's my first truck. We'll probably go stand over here so these guys don't freak out because we're getting in their way. But
again, explain for the person that doesn't understand, all these tires, it's because of the weight, but talk about like the weight limits and the axles that you have to have,
in Missouri,
how all that works.
And when that axle's flipped over, you can put 80,000 on the combo.
Okay.
And without the other one flipped over, you can only have 60.
You can with that flip down, you can put 80,000
on that grouping.
Yep. Okay.
Yep. Everything has to be permitted.
Right. Yeah.
So we buy permits nonstop every day. But yeah. So these extra axles, like that one has a stinger on it, they call it. So that would make that axle go back out another 14 feet, 14.1 from the back of trailers. So then used to be you could only get 60, and they didn't give you very much weight for that fourth one. So you had to put the stinger in there to get it 14.1 for your bridge loss. They changed that. But then there's still states out west that you can't have 80 on 4, you have to have a stinger in. So we have to carry stingers.
Okay.
Now, Illinois has some different rules. Every state has different rules, which makes no sense because going across the country, you got to know that.
Is it your safety person that's really keeping track of all this or trying to understand all the rules and regulations?
Honestly, it's the dispatchers. You get them trained and they know it. My safety gentleman sits in there with them and he helps them, but the permit agencies will help them.
I guess I'm just thinking overall, like, again, the specialized heavy haul stuff, you got to know bridge laws, bridge weights, clearance. This stuff is not...
And unfortunately, you find some of this stuff out the accident sometimes. because you get in a state and you get a ticket for it, and that's how you learn. Unfortunately, in some cases, we've learned a lot of lessons over the years because
because every state's different.
Everything's a little different. But you call, we had our own permit people for years and loved them. They just sort of moved on throughout the years, but that's their job, is to call and figure this stuff out. And it's like Arizona has a rule where if our trailers are 8.6 wide. Arizona, you can run a 9-foot wide trailer or 10-foot wide trailer, and they give more weight because it's wider, because it's spreading out that load just a little different. So you got to figure out all these quirks out.
Wow.
But generally, my trucks are red, but I have some white ones that I've had to buy throughout the years because I needed it then. So white's a very common color. So I have some white. I have a few black just because, primarily red and black, as you can tell, or red and white.
I hate that it's a rain day, but I'm glad we hit this today because we get to see the trucks.
Yeah.
I mean.
So all these trucks, if you want to go out and look at them, I'll show you about them. But most of these trucks, oddly enough, have names. Dump trucks, none of them have names. It's just it's just a different deal. I don't know why it's that way, but
will any of your dump truck guys ever come over on the heavy haul side?
Not so much. The dump trucks will go to heavy haul. It's usually these guys will say they want to work more local.
Oh, okay.
Slow down, so then they'll go into a dump truck. But then those guys are still trained to do this, so if they need to, they can.
Can a heavy haul guy make decent money?
Yeah, they'll, like this guy here, he'll pull in 120 a year, and generally work. I mean, occasionally they'll hit a 70-hour week, but most of the time it's 60. My top drivers are making 120 a year. I mean, I'd say on average, we're talking 80 to 100.
Can you probably just talk? So heavy haul, are they getting paid by the mile?
Hour. All my guys get paid by the hour.
The over-the-road guys?
Yeah.
Everything's hourly?
Everything's hourly because there's so much they don't dictate.
Yeah.
Because they have curfews in different cities that they can't run through, and they may have to get to St. Louis and be during curfew, and they got to set for 2 hours and wait for curfew, or they may get hung out and wait for permits for a day.
Yeah, they shouldn't be punished.
So
for that.
they get set time differently, and they get guarantees. So if they're, say he can only run 6 hours today, he'll still get paid for an 8-hour day, even though he could only run 6, and that's just because of different rules or
that's good.
Regulations. There's a lot of customization on this, so all the stripes got hand painted on it.
How long have these trucks been in the fleet?
I'm thinking this one's a 22, so this one's about 3 years. The same about this one too. This was number 170 in the fleet.
Oh wow!
In history, so I started my numbers out at 1,000 when I did it, and that white one over there is actually 1,003. Because I had an old Ford that was my number 1 truck. And then I think 1001 might still be here, actually. It's a dump truck. 1002 is a Ford, and that's 1003, and I sold 1004 to a guy in Rogersville, and 1005 is still in the fleet.
Nice.
So this truck here is getting ready to get refurbished because the frame's getting age to it. So we're gonna bring it in, sandblast the frame, repaint it.
What caused all that? Just
Salt on the road. Yep. So this truck has almost 600,000 on it. Same driver the whole time, and it's getting ready to get refurbished. It's on the same motor still too, and he heavy hauled with it. I mean, this was a truck that did super loads.
So will this driver go on another truck until this is?
Yeah.
And then he'll get it back, or?
Yes.
Okay.
Most definitely.
That's beautiful. You guys are. You're very much attention to detail. Was your dad that way? Like?
No, my dad was just a worker. I mean, he could sell ice to an Eskimo. And he could, he was the builder. He wasn't an office guy. He could do the office stuff, but he could go sell a building to anybody and just honest as day as long. Had every one of his customers we still have today.
Oh wow!
But he was a builder. He could figure and problem solver. If you had a problem on the job site, I can still call him today and say, "How are we going to do this?" And he'd tell me. He was not a trucker at all. I think he's still borzing about all the equipment, all the trucks. I'd say when I first came on board, we might have had 20 employees, and we probably had maybe 5 company trucks at the time. Maybe I may not be giving him enough credit. We might have had a little bit more company trucks than that, but I'm a risk taker. He's not as much of a risk taker.
Usually it's the opposite. Usually second generation is more protecting and not.
Yeah, no, he was not a risk taker. He was a.
Where did you think? I'm just curious. Where do you think your attention to detail, like the?
My mother.
Okay.
My mother
making things look detailed,
my mother is kept a house extremely. She worked in the office for all the years, did accounting for my dad, but she kept things clean and tidy. And I don't know why I became a chrome guy or made custom trucks, because my dad was not into custom cars, not into any of that kind of stuff ever. So I don't know how I got into it. I like trucks and pickups and everything like that. And
Well, it shows with the fleet. I mean, like I said, there's.
But it's our branding. It's people. You pull in with a crappy truck to pick up your $500,000 machine. You pull into the truck that looks like it barely can get down the road. Or you pulling in these trucks. They're proud. Boy, they want to take your picture with that truck. They want.
So that's another reason. This is. I mean, this is advertising.
Oh, 100% marketing.
It's marketing. I mean, this is a marketing expense, not just.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Operational.
You know, I wouldn't be half of what I am today if I didn't invest in my fleet. And you get drivers. The quality of drivers I get. You know, you're not going to get the guy who was the bull hauler that had his own. If I had a Volvo sitting here that was just plain stock, I mean, he wants to get in a cool truck. We have our own wash facility. It's got an automated side, so a dump truck can go through it in about 4 minutes.
Oh wow!
And it blows off the heavy stuff or the light stuff, like a dusty day. Now, when it's really muddy, like this is the roll-off truck, so he goes in the landfill, which is really muddy. So he has to get the hand wands off and really wash it.
That's a lot. I mean, that's a time machine. I mean, you can save a lot of time with that.
Oh yeah. Well, you know, when I first started J&L on a Friday night, I'd come up here and get in a dump truck and drive it over to 18-wheeler in Stratford and get them washed. And I may do 10 of those a night. I may wash trucks till 3 in the morning and go parking because I always like my stuff clean. Well, when I built this facility, I said I'm going to put my own wash bay in. Now we've been here about 10 years, and that system's getting dated. I've looked at putting a new system in, but a new system's going to cost about $350,000.
Yeah.
So I haven't pulled the trigger on that yet, but it will happen. Now these two bays here is what we call never satisfied builds. We're going to try not to show too much of this truck.
Yeah, sure.
This is a 389X. I'll tell you a little bit about it. We're building it. I don't know when it'll ever come out, but we've been not working on it very heavy because this is my truck. And this 389X was the last year for a 389.
Yeah.
So they only made so many of them.
So what year is this thing? This is.
I think it's titled as a 24.
Okay. Yeah.
It's never been on the road. It might have 200 miles on it from the factory to here, or 300. Yeah, I don't know if it got hauled in or if it got drove in. It'll be something one of these days to be real proud of.
It'll be red.
Nope, it'll stay black.
Oh.
Yeah, it'll stay black. This is for Rapid Roberts.
Oh yeah.
So they have a really nice fleet in Springfield too.
They have a really nice fleet.
Yep.
Have you guys done some of those other trucks?
Yes, we have. We've done, I think, 3 to date.
That cab over they have?
The cab over is my old service truck.
Oh, that's the one that on the
Yep.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Yep. That truck was down to every bolt off of it. I mean, that was ground up rester when I did it. This one we had the cab off, hood off. Mechanical wise, we haven't redid the motor or anything like that, but we're redoing it all. So we'll put new insulation in the cab and everything. So we painted this truck in-house. This is one of our first trucks to ever repaint from scratch. So we are in the process of putting our own paint booth in. This truck did not get painted in paint booth. This truck
painted crossover in that other deal.
In the other building. Yeah. We had the frame sandblasted and repainted all the frame. So this is our never satisfied build swing is what we call it.
Jamie,
so,
what's this up here? Is this?
That's a pump, so they can actually pump the fuel out of the ground. So say their driver makes a mistake and drops diesel in the unleaded tank, which it does happen. They can go pump that fuel out and then dispose of it.
Wow.
Or
do their other trucks have that?
No, not all trucks have that. You don't have to have that to do it.
Well, I didn't know if their trucks had.
Not all of them
okay.
do. They only have, I think, 1 or 2 that have that on there. But you also may have to deliver to a farm where you're not dropping the tank, the fuel in the ground. You have to
pump it up in a deal, yeah.
So they can do that. So we'll cut through here.
This is so cool.
But this is an old 359. They bought it from a guy in Florida, and it was a good truck. It just wasn't what they wanted. This
is a Rapid Roberts?
Yes, it's a Rapid Roberts too. And the frame was not safe in it. It was that rusty. So we ordered a new frame for it, and it's getting ready to get a brand new frame put under it. So the frame might be in the paint booth right now getting painted, but.
Can you talk about, for someone that wants a truck built like this, your process, not in general, but like, how do you figure a budget, or do you just kind of get into it and then kind of work with the owner of how, because it seems like there's a lot of unknowns.
A truck like this is kind of like remodeling a house. You don't know what you're going to get into until you tear the end of the walls. We have a good reputation with them, and we show them all the expenses. We don't have any, and then we'll call them and say, hey, we found this. Do you want to fix it or not? It's going to cost you this. Or, hey, you don't have to do this, but it's our recommendation to do it. Life safety stuff, it's not a question. If it's in my shop, it has to be life safety.
Yeah.
Like when we got this truck from Florida, it had 2 different hubs in the front of it. Front wheel hubs for some reason. So before they put on the road, we replaced both front hubs and redid all that. Because life safety has to be, no matter what. And Rapid Roberts agrees with that 100%. A lot of times people come to us and say, hey, I want to redo this truck. Here's my budget's $50,000. What can I get for $50,000? Or, you know, I got 100,000. I want to restore this truck, or I want it. Here's a picture. I want it to look like my dad's first truck. You know.
Yeah.
And Randy, who you met in the office a while ago, he's my asset manager, shop manager. He goes to work and he puts up an estimate, and then we talk about it and say, okay, here's where, you know, our margins need to be to make money, because the goal is to make money, and we put it together. We haven't done historically a lot of trucks for outside people, because we've always done my own. We're not the fastest truck builder in the country, but it's right. We added the paint side to our business last year, because that was an unknown. You take a truck to a paint shop in town, and they may say, hey, I'm slow today. You got anything for me to paint? Yep. You got to, you know, my schedule is to allow you to have 4 weeks to paint this truck. And they get 5 prime wrecks in there the next week. And next thing you know, your schedule of 4 weeks is 8 weeks. And you got a guy on the other end mad because his truck's down a lot longer than it should be. So I'm putting in my own paint booth to try to control that.
Another control process.
But I also see that, you know, the guy, it's never that they weren't ever screwing me. It's just life. Things take longer than it does. Or, you know, I'm finding out, you know, they may paint a truck and it gets orange peel in it. Well, my painters, same thing happened to my painters. And then you got to sand it down or buff it out, and it adds time.
What is, I know it depends on the stripes, the schemes and all that, but like, what's the cost of a paint job for, well,
I would say a show truck, show quality paint job with stripes and everything is going to cost you $80,000 to $90,000. A repaint. 20 years ago, this would have probably been, with a lot of stripes and everything, $30,000. Like everything else,
everything's gone up.
Everything's went up. I used to get a frame repainted for $6,000. If I take that over to a paint shop right now and say I need repainted, minimum's 20 just to get the frame redone and do it right.
Yeah.
Now there's guys that want to go paint in the backyard, and they might charge you still $6,000, and they'll be on there for about 2 years. Get everything in secure, so everybody can't just walk in here and take anything they want. This is our parts room.
I know you talk about building the trucks, like you do some of these custom jobs. In the shop, we're going to go. Do some people service their stuff here, or do you?
Yep. Okay. I do some out. I don't advertise it, but I don't do all Rapid Roberts services, but I do a lot of them. You know, mainly friends. I don't advertise it, but just like we're talking about the show trucks. There was one week I had 3 different showers, company trucks in here getting fixed because they were passing through and turbo mild went out, airline broke, lights issues. They stop in here, I fix it, and they go on about their way. And they trust me. I bill them right. They're not sitting here for 4 days. And
again, because trucking lends itself to being all over the country or all over the place, like, but having the trust in places you can go that, you know, you're not going to get taken advantage of.
There's a lot of unfair people in the world that will take advantage of you. So this is the maintenance side of the shop. We have 4 bays here, which 8 bays is what a lot of shops would call it. But this is, they can lift parts up to the mezzanine. Yep. And they store parts up in the mezzanine. It's OSHA approved. That gate comes down, so you can never be up there and fall off. Because to get to that part, gate rotates. So it shuts, so you're never not in a controlled environment.
Yeah.
I'll show you this thing here.
This is like for the truck boxes and
anything. They make all kinds of bracketry. So we try to do most of our fabrication here. He's bringing in here, probably doing an inspection on the airbags and the brakes, checking it out.
Explain, what is this again?
This is a Jeep.
Jeep? Okay.
So then the trailer actually sits back here. So it gives, you got the weight of the truck.
So this is for even hauling something.
Super loads.
Crazy, yeah, super loads, yeah.
Yep.
What's the heaviest some of those super loads will be?
The heaviest I can handle is 260. Is the most I can weigh as a combo. But there's some
that 260 total? Total weight, 260.
My biggest load, I think, right now. Now we hire a lot of stuff out that we can't haul through the brokerage. There's bigger trailers than that, so we haul a lot of that. It's a pre-emission truck. This trailer is an old trailer that the paint was starting to get rusty on the side, so we're going to bring it in, repaint it, refurbish it. Anything metal on it cracked needs redone. We'll redo the whole trailer, make it look new again. We'll put it back out in the fleet. We have what they call an ag trailer because it's a special trailer with aluminum pullouts. So we do haul ag. We had 2 of them, and I just actually traded my other one out to a guy because I needed another stretch trailer. So I have trailers that most standard lowboys have 26 foot in the well. And the well is the part you put the machine on. We have some that'll go out to 60 foot in the well. So they slide apart. And I needed another one, and the guy wanted another ag trailer, so we did an exchange. So I just traded him his brand new one for my brand new one because just the way life changed.
Yeah.
But we don't typically go after ag a lot, but we can.
Okay.
We do a little bit for Crown, and we do a little bit of combines.
Yeah, I was just thinking combines
So,
and stuff like that.
move from that. It takes a special trailer, and we do have one of those. Because it has 2 different draft systems. The goal is to be able to paint. It's I want to say it's 62 foot long in here, so he can paint all the trailer. We'll paint. Yeah. So instead of me going and buying a new lowboy trailer, which my new lowboy trailers now today are probably pushing close to 200,000, I can refurbish them and get another life out of them. And production time is what I'll get my money back in.
Yeah.
You know, I still got the man hours to paint it, and I still got my man hours to get it prepped and strip it and sandblast it. But
how many guys do you have just on the paint side?
I only have 2. I have a painter and a body man right now, as of today. I'd say when we get this in operation, we may increase more of that. This is what we call our toy barn. It was originally made just for me to store my stuff I didn't want to get out in the elements. It was all made for semis. But when I took over this space, this was my warehouse for my construction company. The first 2 bays is now the warehouse for the construction company. I normally keep my 359 and one of my Kenworths in those next 2 bays. Well, they're at my house now, in my barn, because I'm using that for a makeshift paint booth right now. And then the 5th bay, I keep an RV in it. Me and my wife have an RV, so I keep it parked in there. It goes there or my house, but right now it's parked in there. It's its own little room, and it's over there.
Any kids involved in the business?
Nope. My children. I have a daughter who's 21. Who's going to be a senior at Missouri State. She's getting a business degree in sports and entertainment management. My son has a construction management degree. He graduated from Pitt State in Kansas. He works for KCI Construction, which is a giant company out of St. Louis that has an office in Springfield. Ever since he decided he wanted to get in the construction industry, we've always all agreed that, hey, you're going to go work somewhere 3 to 5 years. I don't know if I'll ever get him back. You know, he gets off work at 4:30, and he don't have to worry about it. You know, your family in a business, you never get to.
Yeah,
it's around. I'm generally not around here on Sundays doing anything, but I'm here almost every Saturday doing something at some point, checking on something or doing something. My phone shuts off at 10 o'clock at night, and it starts back up at 6:30 in the morning. Some days earlier. I have a nephew in the business who's 25, maybe 26 now, but he has the desire to run the business. He's a construction project manager for me. I don't know if he has a desire to run the trucking business and all that, but he has the desire to run the construction part. That's been a goal of his for his whole life. He's been in our office since he was 3 years old. When my mom was here, his nursery was in our office. So he's been around it his whole life. His brother works for us on the excavation side and runs a crew, does a good job. So we have family in the business. Father is 100% not owner of the business or anything, but he still is liable to pop in here every day and just check on things. It's in his blood. He's been out for...
What does he usually say when he comes by?
Oh, no, he'll just stop he knows all the staff. He goes and sits there and, hey, what's new today? What are we talking about? What do you need help with? What project? And we'll give him projects to go work on because he's still very talented. He's 82 and he has a great mind, and you can give him a project and he'll handle it and get it taken care of.
What's the hardest thing to solve for today? Like, what are you constantly thinking about? Like, what's always kind of the pressing thing that at your stage of business?
My stage of business, the number one thing is just employee retention.
Keeping people?
Keeping people happy. And it's impossible to keep people happy because you get one bad egg and he'll spoil the bunch.
Yeah.
But you just gotta, I'm very loyal to my employees, so I don't just fire at a drop of a hat. I mean, I try to work with them, but you're always constantly trying to keep top pay, top benefits. You're trying to keep them happy. You're trying to make money.
Yeah.
And you're trying to keep your employees happy.
Yeah, I'm going to say with 200 employees, that's a lot.
It's an impossible task. You got people always, there's not enough employees in the market. You would think there would be, but there's not. So, if I want somebody, I go hire from somebody else, or they're hiring from me. And it's just, the grass is always greener on the other side of the fence.
Do you think your business is at maturity right now? Or do you think, I know it's a hard one to forecast, but do you think?
I want to say I hope so, because I really don't want to get any bigger. But, the common joke in our company was every year at our Christmas party, I'd say, hey, we're at 60. My goal is to not grow. Next year we'd be at 80. Next year we'd be at 120. When we hit 180 employees, I mean, that was kind of where I wanted to be at. But then things happen. Yeah. I'm not very good at telling people no. When a customer wants something, you find a way.
What's some of the biggest jobs? I mean, are you doing jobs that are $100 million jobs?
But, I don't know. A big job for me is, $45 million project.
Okay.
I'd say our average job is $5 million. But, I'm doing a dorm at Evangel right now. I think it's close to 18. Or no, I think it's about 12. I'm sorry. But we're doing a parking lot addition there. We're doing Assemblies of God headquarters right now, where we're going to remodel that whole facility. It started out at 40 million and went down to 20 million. I think it got down to 10. And I'd say when we're done, it's going to be somewhere around 30. Our annual sales a year will probably push anywhere. It varies from the year and the size of the projects, but we'll go anywhere from 60 to 100 million a year in sales. About what we do.
Well, cool. Jamie, thank you so much for the tour today. Yeah, this has been an honor. Man, I love when I came by here a couple months ago and got to talk to you. And then, we wanted to share this with our audience. And, we focus on trucking and businesses, especially in this community. So it's always awesome when we can share something with our community, especially here in Springfield. So thank you very much.
You're welcome.
God bless
very
you.
much. Had a great day. Thank you.